Hi, everybody. This is Jimmy, and you're reading with Jimmy. We're doing quick takes today of Hamlet, madness, revenge, and the meaning of life. This is a 10-minute breakdown of why you should be reading Hamlet with Jimmy. Ready? Welcome, everybody. To be or not to be is one of the most famous words in the English language. But have you ever stopped to ask, what exactly is Hamlet debating? I know you've heard this. Some of you haven't read Hamlet with Jimmy yet, but I hope after this quick take that you do read Hamlet. Is Hamlet questioning life and death, or is there something deeper? Well, welcome to Reading with Jimmy's Quick Takes, where we're going to break down literature's greatest works in about 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes from now, you should have enough information to say, yeah, I want to read Hamlet. So get straight, and the good stuff is on our website, and read along with Jimmy. But let's start today with tackling Shakespeare's Hamlet, which, by the way, is a murder mystery. It's a ghost story. It's a philosophical debate, and it's all rolled up into a revenge thriller. And it's all in one play, ladies and gentlemen. But is Hamlet really just about revenge? Or is there something deeper going on? Let's find out. So what's the story? Well, we're in Denmark, and Prince Hamlet returns home to find that his father, the king, is dead. But something isn't right. His uncle Claudius has taken the throne and just weeks later married his mother, Gertrude. That's suspicious, huh? So Hamlet thinks so too, especially when his father's ghost appears and tells him, Claudius murdered me. So it's a ghost story too. Hamlet faces an impossible choice. Does he avenge his father and kill the king? Or does he do nothing and then risk eternal damnation? But instead of grabbing his sword and storming the castle, Hamlet hesitates. He thinks about it. He delays. And he wonders, is he seeing things? And his debate is what makes this play so fascinating. I want you to just listen to this, because this is really a 400-year-old story and why you should read it with Jimmy. So what's the deal? What is the deal? Well, when you read some short, notes about Hamlet, some say he's indecisive. He can't make up his mind. Well, this is true. But then others say he's brilliant. He really thinks things through. Well, that's true too. Can you be both? I don't know. But really, he's a guy who sees many possibilities. And the truth is, maybe he sees too many possibilities. Because he's not just asking, should I kill Claudius? He's really asking, what if the ghost is lying? When Jimmy reads that, you're going to find out that there's a lot in here asking if Hamlet's mad, if he's nuts, right? In fact, that's really how he convinces people to find out the truth. He pretends to be crazy, which is really, if there's another great line, the play's the thing will catch the conscience of the king. So he puts on a play with some actors, and he's going to replay what the ghost tells him of how his brother killed him. What happens after death? Hamlet always thinks about this. These people always wonder what happens after you die. We still wonder what happens. It depends on what we believe. What does it mean to act morally in a corrupt world? Is he doing the right thing by taking revenge? Which brings us to the most important speech in the play. Maybe the most important speech in all literature. To be or not to be? That is the question. And many people think Hamlet's debating suicide. Well, maybe he is. But at the core, this speech is about action versus inaction, thinking versus doing, which is really a universal theme. You think about things, do you act on them or don't you act on them? Sometimes you don't have time to think about things, you just act. So ask yourself, should we fight against life's struggles? Or should we just give up? What if death is really worse than life? How do we ever make the right choice? These are universal human questions, ladies and gentlemen, and Hamlet wrestles with them, perhaps more deeply than almost any character in classical literature. In language that is, well, it's language in Hamlet, I'm not going to lie to you. It's difficult, but it's difficult and it's beautiful. Besides, if you lived 400 years ago, you'd understand it. Now, who's to say we can't understand it even though it's 400 years old, right? But it is hard to read, and that's why Jimmy reads it with you. The tragedy of Hamlet. Well, pardon me. Hamlet does take action, eventually. But his hesitation, and some say timing, comes at a massive cost. Because by the end of the play, almost everyone is dead, including Hamlet. Ophelia, his girlfriend, drowns. Polonius, her father, is stabbed by Hamlet. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are executed. Those were his buddies. Gertrude, his mom, is poisoned. Laertes, Ophelia's brother, is killed in a duel by Hamlet. Claudius is killed by Hamlet. So Hamlet gets his revenge, but Hamlet also dies. There's poison. There's also, it's just an enormous story. Enormous. So Hamlet isn't just a revenge story. It's really a play about the consequences of thinking, the weight of grief. I mean, Hamlet is grief-stricken, because his father's died. Imagine if you lost your father. Reality, illusion, ghosts. Who believes in ghosts? What if there wasn't a ghosts? And in the play, we actually prove that there was a ghost. Not everybody sees the ghost, but more than Hamlet sees the ghost. So there is a ghost. And the struggle to find the meaning in the world. That's what he's trying to figure out what's going on with his life. So why does it still matter reading this play? Well, we should read it even though it's 400 years because the struggle. In fact, I've had people ask me, why do I have to struggle with the language of Shakespeare? Well, because the language is powerful. And because language, then and now, asks the most important questions that we all face. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we read to see how other people lead their lives and how we ourselves lead our life. How do we deal with grief? I mean, grief, how do you deal with it? Do you just bottle it all up? How do we act when the world is unfair? Oh, Jimmy, the world's always fair. No, it's not. How do we make choices when we can never, ever be 100% sure that this is the right choice? So there is a Hamlet in all of us, questioning, doubting, wrestling with decisions that don't always have easy answers, right? And that's why this play is still so powerful and why it's on Jimmy's website and why Jimmy will read it with you, taking your time, taking my time, and make the language come alive. So calling all readers, that's Hamlet in 10 minutes. So why not go and unpack this powerful play with Jimmy? Go to my website. You're on the website now if you're looking at this. readingwithjimmy.com, or check out my deep dive analysis on YouTube. There's my YouTube address, youtube.com/@readingwithjimmy. And Jimmy will read and analyze every scene and every word with you. I'm not going to abandon you and make Hamlet a true experience. So here's a question I'll leave you with. Can you overthink anything? Can you take too much time thinking about something? Albert Camus, a great philosopher, says 2 years isn't too long to think about something. I don't know. If you have another classic you want broken down, let me know. Jimmy@readingwithjimmy.com. And thank you for listening to my summary, my quick take of Hamlet. Jimmy's quick takes, better yet, see you, in fact, Don't just stop here. Go read Hamlet with me. One last thing. This is what it'll look like on my website. Every act is divided into readings, into different, every scene is read separately. And every act has a summary. So every act has a drop down where you can read the scenes, right? And every act has a analysis, and where I dissect the entire act for you. Enjoy. Thanks for stopping by.